welcome to So Guys. Today we have Jacob and Dale with us. So we're going to have a nice good show talking about park updates and as well as Kings Islands.
And
It is Zach. There you go.
Zach.
Hey, what's up?
What up, Zach?
Hey, does this look familiar?
No, not at all.
Oh, wait. Oh, let me see if I can.
The side of your car.
There you go.
go.
There we go. It is
Boy, that
monkey.
looks like an amusement park.
Yeah.
Must be nice living in Florida.
Yeah. I just came back to the car to jump on this.
Oh, did you get a chance to get on Serengeti?
Oh no, that's at 2:00 that they start doing. Well, so if I went to the effort to do the whole passport the thrills thing, I could have gotten on now, but for the regular platinum holders, it's 2. I'm not sure if I'll get on today. It's just going to depend on how long the line is. Iron Gwazi is kind of the bigger priority anyway. Even though I've been on over 100 times.
I mean, it's, you got to give my old girl
now we go
a
into
ride.
updates. So, do you have anything from BlizzCon and Stampa on all that fun stuff?
Yeah. So, well, I don't know. So what kind of updates are you looking for?
I mean, anything new you see, or I guess you can go ahead and talk about Saturday 5 and what you've seen for a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess in terms of new things, they opened up a new kind of bar area around that Iron Gwazi area, where they do the lanyard festivals. They had that bar closed for a little while, but they reopened it. What's it called? It's forget the name, but that's open. They've overhauled the menu at the Serengeti Overlook, so that's better. And the pass holder allowance to the Serengeti Overlook is new, and it's actually really, really nice. So I mean, if you guys are, and I think that they accept any kind of pass, so you could have your pass from BGW or San Antonio and still go there. So I highly recommend that because it's air conditioned and it's pretty luxurious actually. So it's kind of a good way to escape the crowds. But yeah, other than that, just the new main thing is the Serengeti Flyers, which I mean I think it's going to be a really good addition to the park. I'm usually not the biggest fan or supporter of flat rides, but I think this is a case where it really works really well because one complaint people have is that there's no flat rides here. And this will kind of help with that. And it's this swing, it really comes down to the view. That's the main thing that matters for it.
I've heard it has some nice zero Gs.
Oh yeah, nice. So is it pretty much just the same as the other ones, like the one like the Finnegan's Flyer and the one at Cedar Point, or is it?
Yes, but Cedar Fair, sorry to say this, dims it down. I've noticed when traveling to different parks, every flyer, the feeling is a little bit different, which is pretty much just different zero Gs and depends on how high and how long they stall you up there, kind of.
It seems like the one at Cedar Point doesn't stall all the way up.
No, it just swings back and forth.
Right.
It also might be a generational thing too, because that's obviously a lot older than some of the newer ones. So
true too.
And
but that the one this one Tampa had a really good long cycle of a minute and a half. So that's pretty good for Scream and Swing. So
yeah, and I mean I think the one at Cedar Point, the placement, I don't think makes a lot of sense because you can't really see much when you're riding. It's just kind of tucked away in the corner. It may have been better if they would have had you kind of go into the lake or something.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'd say the best one that I've ridden is by far the one over Gunwood Caverns. That one is crazy.
Oh, the one where you're hanging over the mountain?
Yes, it's good.
Yeah, you really can't beat that.
Yeah, I got to get out to that one. And I know that the fun spots have them too.
Yeah, and they're pretty good. I mean, you can never go wrong with anything. I mean, even when they run badly, they're still a pretty good ride.
Yeah, even Nadell's has it. Mount Olympus.
Yeah, Mount Olympus. Silver Dollar City has one. And so does Dollywood.
Yeah. And then like I know like Finnegan Flyers is the one that's like pretty iconic where a lot of people know about it. Like good location, always pretty popular. And then but yeah, like they're good rides to add because they're pretty cheap for the most part, don't take up much space, and they just add another thing to do. Okay.
People like them, so
Yeah, it's crazy how at those Six Flags parks, they're like pendulums are like the most popular ride in the park, more or less.
Yes.
And teacups.
Yeah, find out later for another big thing for later for so.
yeah, you got teacups.
Yeah, and also so in terms of BGT, it's there's not much else to report on. Yeah, they've been adding shows. It's been they've been doing what they're doing. I'm not really sure about what they're rumored to get. I've heard a rumor from a rumor that they might be trying to reboot that Safari ride, but that's just a rumor from a complete hearsay.
The
Don't take it
Rhino
seriously.
or whatever it was.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be an awesome idea because it's like,
Yeah.
how could you have an animal theme park without a safari? But
Who knows?
yeah, I'm not sure if I'd put too much stock into that because it's like the old ride is in such disrepair, and like Cheetah Hunt and the Serengeti Flyers are kind of taking up a lot of space anyway. But like, have you guys heard any rumors for BGT in the future?
I have not.
Nothing yet.
Yeah, 'cause
Although,
I mean,
I do think adding that spot back would be a good idea because they've been adding so many rides. They haven't done much with animals yet, and they do need a good non-upcharge way to see animals up close.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because it is kind of crazy how they invest in so much, and it's hard to see them without getting on that little train, on that train. I guess that reopening the Sky Ride would help a lot,
Yeah.
but supposedly they can't find parts or something.
Well, that thing looks pretty trashed, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it ran up until COVID, and then it shut down with COVID and just never reopened. They have to put some TLC into it. I'm sure they can get it back up and running, but yeah, supposedly they just can't find parts for it now with the supply chain issue.
I'll see why, because he's the one keeps in running, and it's the exact manufacturer, so.
Well, could be different company too.
Yeah,
I mean, it's all Von Wolf now.
yeah, but it seems like these theme parks are trying to like stick with doing like a major attraction every year. So I'd imagine there's probably something in the works for 24 and 25. But by major, I kind of consider the Serengeti Flyers to be somewhat major. I mean, it's a good addition.
It's a good.
Yeah. I mean, no, but that's been a long time now because last time I was there in like 2020, they had the air tanks for Serengeti Flyer back behind Kumba. So
They could use Busch Gardens can use some kids ride.
Can use some what?
Kids rides.
Kids. Well, they have a whole kiddie area. You might not be able to see it very well, but they have a pretty good kiddie area, and they also do have some kiddie rides kind of interspersed throughout the park. Yeah, but that kiddie area is pretty good. Like, I mean, they have like a bouncy house, and they have like a whole bunch of rides, and they have that like coaster horn credit back there, the Eric Rover
Override.
Yeah. So I mean, I think there's plenty of stuff for kids. I mean, I think this is one of the few parks out there that provide a great experience for adults too. That it's one of the few parks that you do see people of all ages go to, because they had that Master Series where it can be a popular park for people who are older. They like to walk around and do the different things that they do.
A lot of stuff to look at, other than just rides. You get a good half a zoo and an amusement park together.
Yeah, like it's kind of moving. I mean, it seems like over the years they're kind of like moving away from the zoo aspect and moving towards like being a more traditional theme park because it used to pretty much be all zoo stuff, and
I
then
was gonna say, when I was there 20 years ago, it was a lot more animals than rides.
right. So like the animals and the brewery and like maybe transportation rides, but like not so heavily focused on the thrill rides. But I guess they kind of saw the writing on the wall where they're like, hey, people are more into PETA stuff these days, and animals are expensive, so they probably just had to refocus what they're doing.
Well, and you don't want to get hit like the
Yes.
SeaWorld parks did.
Oh well, you mean like that?
But yeah,
like
but I mean, they didn't get hit as hard as like SeaWorld did, even though they're the same company.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, most people aren't going to associate that. They're probably not going to think about that. Yeah.
Right. They probably have no idea that they're connected.
Yeah.
Right, and they don't really do much to like connect the brands together. Like you can tell a lot of the similarities between BGT and BGW, but the Seas parks are kind of a little like they're not as like congruent.
Right.
Like they even have like the Busch Gardens symbol that they use both of the parks.
Yes.
That actually, I guess we can't really see Cheetah Hunt from here, but like one fun fact about Cheetah Hunt is that that little like first part like, after the launch where you're kind of going up and doing the prowl and looking around,
Yeah.
like from certain angles that looks like the Busch Gardens symbol.
Of course. Yeah.
That's kind of a little Easter egg that they put in.
That's
Hey,
cool. Yeah.
can we jump parks really quick and talk about Tron?
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
Another one is Tron previews.
Photo credit to Buckeye Coasters. Jeremy sent this to me last night.
Okay, nice. So did Jeremy get on it?
I don't know if he was on it last night or if he will be on it today. He's at Disney running the Princess Marathon 10K, 5K.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I mentioned I got on it last Wednesday. I have another one.
Yes.
next Wednesday.
That's why I wanted to bring it up since you were on.
Yeah, so I don't know what to say. It's phenomenal. I know it's a little polarizing with some people. People say mixed things about it, but I think it's phenomenal. Like, I mean, I'm not sure if I want to. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if I want to jump in and say top 10 quite yet, but I mean, definitely top 25 for me. And just, like it really shows some of the stuff that Disney can do. I understand the complaints about some of the pacing issues and some of the length issues, but I don't know. It's Disney. They got to push a lot of people through. You got to have block breaks.
Do you enjoy the motorcycle trains?
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing I noticed is that like you kind of.
Oh,
I think I'm losing my headphones here.
that's fine. We can still hear you just fine.
Yeah, like you're in that like defensive position where like kind of the way that you're seated, it's kind of like, you're just kind of hanging out there. So I think it kind of adds to some of that thrill factor, where it's almost kind of like, it's almost kind of like being like a flying coaster, kind of with the way that you're seated.
Comfortable though, right?
Crap. Yeah.
Is it comfortable? We lost him, I think.
Okay.
All right, you're back, Zach.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I had some issues because my headphones died, so I think that's why.
No, you're fine. Is the ride comfortable? I know it said I used to. Well, I had a motorcycle till the wife made me get rid of it. So I used to own a crotch rocket, so I'm used to sitting on a motorcycle in a crotch rocket style form. Is that kind of how you sit on it?
I mean, I think it's a little different. I was on a motorcycle when I was like a kid once, but I don't really remember like too much of what riding on a real motorcycle is like. But in this, like, you're not really like sitting; you're kind of like leaning really forward. Is that what a motorcycle is like?
So that's definitely a crotch rocket style type motorcycle feeling. Yeah.
Okay, but I don't know. Like, I thought that it was pretty comfortable. I mean, it is a little hard to put your hands up on it. Like, I mean, I wanted to try it, but like it's kind of like you kind of.
And that's because your body's like leaning forward like this.
Yeah, but it was just a really pleasant surprise of like, I mean, I intentionally wanted to be as spoiler free as possible, so like I try to avoid any kind of spoilers. So like I was just because I know people were talking about how like short it was, so I was like, it's just like one giant loop or something. But like when I got on it, like I was really surprised by like the spaghetti bowl. And I'm like, this isn't that short. I mean, oh, it's like a minute. It's not that short. Like I mean, and I just love the because I'm really into theming too, and I just really loved how they blend like the indoor and outdoor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't really have much of a storyline to it, I guess. I mean, I know I know there is one. There always is with Disney rides, but the storyline is it's not like Guardians where it's really obvious. But it's just kind of more. It's more fun, more just like immersive, and you're having fun. You're not really that worried about what the actual storyline is. But yeah, I think that people should give it a fair chance. Yeah, people give it a fair chance. Like, try to not get too fixated on the length issue and just be like, yeah, I mean, I know it's short, but it's going to be a really good time. It's kind of the way I would see it.
The other thing too is based on POV, I'm like, it seems fairly long for a launch coaster. So
I was gonna say there's no lift hill.
yeah,
So that
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of. I mean, it is like just over 3,000 feet, so it is pretty short. But I mean, it
it doesn't go that fast though. So
it's like 60 miles per hour.
yeah.
Does it feel like a complete ride though?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, I think it feels like a complete ride. Like, I mean, if you compare it to Guardians is like 5,500 feet long.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's fun, but it's like, yeah, maybe it had a few more twists and turns, but I mean, does that really make it that much better than Tron? I don't think so. But yeah, it's all about what you compare it to, because I know that some of you guys don't go to Disney as much, so comparing Disney to Disney might be a little tricky, but Disney just doesn't really have much of a comparison to other parks. It's just a different animal altogether.
no, and you can't. I mean, my understanding, watching the side-by-side POVs, the Trons are both Tron rides that Disney owns are basically the same start to finish. Almost.
Right. Like the only real difference, like the storyline's a little different. Where
Yeah.
like it's kind of funny too, because like in America you win. Spoiler alert, you guys don't want to hear this, but like, it's spoiler alert, you win in the American one, but in the Chinese one you lose. Big surprise there. That's kind of like the main difference between the storylines.
Yeah,
I mean, the storyline will make no sense to those who've seen Tron like I have. So
Yeah, and like the storyline doesn't make a whole lot. I mean, it's not that immersive anyway, so like you might even have to be told ahead of time what's happening.
Yeah.
But I just think it's really funny that like when they brought it to America, they had to change it so that you won. I guess in communist China, people are used to like being told they're losing all the time.
Yeah. That's interesting. I didn't know they changed the ending to it.
Yeah,
that's pretty much about it.
yeah. Which is like, one thing I get annoyed with sometimes with storyline rides where like you reach the end, and this happens a lot in Universal, where like you reach the end and they're like, oh, thank you for all your bravery and hard work. You really saved the day. And I'm like, I mean, I was sitting back riding a ride. I wasn't doing anything.
I just had my hands up the whole time. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's one of the issues I've had with some of the dark rides at Universal, that they got a little cheesy like that, where it's like,
yeah.
Sitting back watching the ride and then you're being congratulated for how good of a job you did.
Definitely not gonna mention that one dark ride that everybody makes fun of there at Universal.
Oh wait, which one you were talking about?
The one dark ride had a really great queue line. It had a bunch of sports cars.
Oh, you're talking about Fast and Furious?
Yeah, it's gonna go Fast and Furious. Yeah, you're not going for it.
I mean, that ride is very bad, but I wouldn't even say it's like even the worst there.
Yeah. I mean,
well, Hollywood
it
seems like they're doing what they should. They're turning it into a coaster.
What?
Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Oh, they're doing
good.
I mean, I'm not sure how good that would be because they don't really have much space there.
I mean, Universal can get creative though, so
It can.
Yeah, like
still,
it does kind of seem like Universal's always dealing with space issues. I mean, it's going to kind of help with Epic, since they actually have a lot more space to work.
Well, yeah, then
Yeah,
you
but
open a
they
brand.
have a lot of space.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like on the studio side, they're always kind of like, making do with space. So like, we get all these screen rides because they don't have, they just it's, like where you're gonna put stuff.
Let's see.
But yeah, so it's all good. So Tron was a pretty pleasant surprise. So yeah, we're gonna try to talk about our. So we're gonna talk about California at some point, right?
Oh yes,
Yes, we are.
yeah, Avatel. Yeah, I got into Avatel stuff.
So from what I've seen at Magic Mountain, I know Zach, you've been up there. So up on Samurai Summit at the top there's a bunch of markers now. It's around an old chopstick restaurant. I don't know if you know where that is, up by Superman. But so there's electrical,
I need to
water.
repeat that. Like I tried turning my car on again.
Oh, so up on Samurai Summit, there's a bunch of markers out there now. So not really sure what's going on. It's around an old chopstick restaurant up there by Superman. So I don't know if they're going to try to shoehorn a ride in up there, or revamp the whole restaurant. But the markers go out further. So I don't know if they're just tracing lines or if they're actually like looking to build something. I can't tell. I don't have a degree in anything, so
Right.
I'm just looking at what I've seen. But I've heard, which is straight rumor, no hair on the teeth to it or anything, no bite to it. But I heard they want to put in a year-round hunt up there.
Oh, at Magic Mountain?
Yeah,
Ah.
because their hunt does so well. That's why they're doing the. I know Six Flags Texas parks too are doing it. The Scream in the Park next month for spring break. So they're doing a separate ticketed event for 3 hours at night. It's just got like 2 or 3 mazes and a couple of areas. It's just all haunt, which is, I mean,
Yeah.
I think a great idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I just kind of wonder how much that's going to cannibalize from like the 2 months that they do haunts. Because I don't know, I said to myself too, it's like, hey, why don't they just, if this is so popular, why not make this longer? But I also wonder too if part of the popularity is the fact that it's such a compressed period of time.
Yeah, you're doing half September and all of October. Done.
A lot of the haunted houses around Indianapolis have started doing special events all year round, focusing on holidays.
Yeah, same here in Chicago. We just had a couple of ours do Valentine's
Day. Yep.
Yeah,
Valentine's Day sucks.
Now they're getting set up for St. Patrick's Day.
Yep.
Yeah, like Valentine's
And
Day is like the one that makes the most sense because there's always been a pretty close connection between like horror and sex. So I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
They're gonna do our haunted houses are gonna probably do St. Patty's Day, Easter's. I mean, they'll do every holiday. They won't do a 4th of July. And then
yeah.
I mean, you could like a cannibal.
Yeah, like
well,
scary. Yeah, like
Uncle
scary
Sam.
presidents.
My understanding is a lot of them use July and June to actually change their haunt for the next year. Fun fact: if you go, it's just they just change decorations to theme them to the different seasons. It's the same haunt as it was in October.
Well, that's Universal Hollywood's already showing signs of horror nights already setting up. I mean, it's February. Like 2 of their tents are up already, so they're starting early. But I mean, Universal, I mean, they start. I don't think they ever stop with the horror stuff. They may take it down and get rid of it. Then they're already, bang, 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 getting ready for next year. Because I'm sure
I can see that.
I'm sure they make a good
make
chunk
a lot of money. Yeah, like I know in Florida that despite there being like Harry Potter and stuff, HHN is the biggest moneymaker, even more than Harry Potter. It's probably I'm sure it's even more so true in LA.
Oh yeah, they said because LA doesn't draw the crowds that Orlando does, but their Halloween nights, I mean, they're packed.
Yeah, like I think that like one observation that I made is that parks that are more like locally focused are going to do really well for horror stuff, and like when it's more, it's when you're relying on a lot of tourists, it's not as important. I mean, not many parks really do rely on tourists, but like for like. But yeah, I can tell that HHN gets a lot of locals because the locals probably say, well, we've been to this park, throughout the year, like we've always been here, but now we're doing the horror stuff, so now we're really excited. So I've just kind of noticed that.
Different.
Yeah.
And everybody likes horror. Well, not everybody. Even Six Flags up here. I mean, during Haunt, it's packed.
Yeah, but like it brings like a different demographic. I'm sure that a lot of the people who go don't like that kind of stuff, but it just brings in so many people who don't go the rest of the year.
Well, I mean, got to make your money.
Yeah. I've gotten. I used to not like haunts before. I've gotten more into them. I'm still like, I enjoy them, but maybe not as much as other people. Like I like the HHN style a lot. I don't like the really like cheap, creepy kind of stuff that like haunt purists like. I don't really need to be scared. I mean, I don't really get that scared by them. So I just like seeing like the cool like HHN expensive stuff.
Yeah, you like the big statues and.
Yeah, because like I don't really care about being scared. I'm like, I don't know, like they get, like I'm walking through seeing this stuff and people are being tortured. I'm like, well, I feel really bad for them, but it's not like this is like the most fun. No, I don't get scared by it. I mean, like I feel terrible for the people being tortured, but I mean, I'm not scared personally. Like,
I think it's funny, but now I mean, look at the way it's funny now. They just sell those little haunt necklaces.
They don't do that stuff here. Or at least at HHN.
$9 a person. So many people wearing them. I'm like, wow, that's a quick money maker for no reason.
Oh yeah, like they don't do that nonsense at HHN.
Well,
like you go there, they're gonna try to scare you. Like there's no like no boo necklaces there.
Well, that's how it should.
Yeah, that's like the dumbest thing.
Just know you're gonna take what you get.
Well, I think the best is that like the no boo necklaces don't work in the houses. So if you're fit to take it off, you're making yourself a target. Where it's like this is our chance to really scare the crap out of you now.
Yeah,
we see you wearing this.
Take it off, yeah.
Yeah, you better take that off in the houses.
I got a little word just now too from my friend. Knott's seems like their gig is dead.
I see some Yukon Striker people. They must be enthusiasts walking by. Oh, that's cool. So you can see them. Yeah. Oh.
So Knott's gig got washed by the town.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks. Nah, nosy neighbors.
Not
Well,
too much though. But I mean, in other news though, Dorney Park got their thing passed. So
they'll do something else.
Yeah, that just kind of sucks. I just kind of hate that. It's just like, if you guys don't want to like have theme park stuff around you, don't move next to a theme park.
Yeah, that's I agree. You don't want baseball noise. Don't move next to a baseball park.
Right. Yeah, because like that if you're around a theme park, there's going to be loud noise. There's going to be traffic, and there's going to be line of sight issues. Like there's nothing we can do about that.
Right.
Just like
especially,
I wouldn't move. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, especially with Knott's, because Knott's is like they plopped it right in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to be next to a theme park personally, because I wouldn't want to deal with all the traffic and stuff. But I just wouldn't want to move next to one.
Yeah. I mean, I guess too we should talk about Six Flags and all their sneaky little removals.
Well, I want to know, how about Mattel updates? You guys moving on that, Mattel?
Oh, Mattel. So I have a friend who's in Arizona. I didn't get to make it down there because I had some issues. But she said the Bone Crusher roller coaster going up. Looks like it's about 3/4 of the way done. I'll have a next week. What she said, like paving the parking lot now and kind of getting like the infrastructure ready for it. And it looks like it's a good chunk of land. So I'm curious to see what it looks like once I get the video out. I'll let you know. But she said you can see the coaster, and it looks like it's going to be pretty decent sized. And it's nice to see Chance getting another They call
Yeah,
Nice. So okay, so like, is it gonna be like that HyperX model?
Yeah, it's the same as the one in Kentucky Kingdom, Lightning
Lightning
Run.
Run, but
Yeah.
But this one's gonna have inversions.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool.
So it's kind of
Yeah,
like
because
a little updated version. Yes.
right. Like I'm kind of surprised Lightning Run didn't, because it kind of had like the RMC style restraint.
Yeah, I mean, Lightning Run's beautiful, but I mean, this should be interesting. If they did half a good a job as this one as they did with Lightning Run, it should be a hit.
oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
as long as Washington Lions involved, it'll be good.
And especially with Arizona being a desert of roller coasters, other than coasters and castles, nothing.
Yeah, like you would think it would be a really good place to put a park, like just because you can have those year-round operations.
The only thing is you don't want to be out there and fly.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the way people see it. Like everyone says that they're like, oh yeah, I don't want to be in the heat or whatever. But then like winter hits and everyone goes inside, but life still kind of goes on when it's hot out. Like I don't know, it just seems to me that people are still okay going to parks when it's hot out. It's just like the cold and the snow that kind of keeps them away.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's when I was out there, I mean, I did stuff in the summer too, but that heat will take it out of you too, though.
Yeah, or like they could maybe like restructure the hours some to make it more of like a nighttime thing. Like
Yeah,
they could maybe
nighttime during the summer months, and then you can want in the winter.
yeah. Well, also at the water park, you can go to the water park when it's like when it's like 100 degrees out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Although I guess there might be a point where like it gets too hot for that, but
There's that's why they created air conditioning.
yeah, definitely. I mean, you can, like I guess it would help. Like yeah, because like in these Florida parks, it's like like it's kind of like manageable weather all year, but they still do a lot of indoor stuff just because they know like the thunderstorms.
Well, yeah, you got to be able to get out of the elements and.
Yeah, so hopefully they're doing some indoor stuff there just to give people some AC.
Well, it's a decent indoor park from what I understand. Most of the rides are going to be outside.
Oh, really? Okay. So, do you know who the Okay, nice. Do you know who the investment group is?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I know just everything's going to be licensed to Mattel.
Oh, Mattel. Oh, yeah. Okay, you were saying it before. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So.
Like they
So much.
The He-Man laser tag they're gonna have, so which looks like that'll be a lot of fun. The major roller coasters theme Hot Wheels.
Yeah. Okay. Is there like a Barbie section and stuff?
I'm sure.
Now we want to do some sad news from Six Flags.
Which one want to start?
There's too many to mention. I think the biggest loss here, in my opinion, is going to be Dear Excalibur from Six Flags St. Louis. It is no longer on the park's website. So that means there's a really strong chance that it's done for it. We know how it is.
Oh, yeah.
Off the website, it's probably done for, unfortunately.
Yeah, by the opening of the season, it'll be gone.
Yeah, it's actually it's funny when you said Excalibur a couple weeks ago. I thought you were talking about like the one at Valley Fair.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That
Yeah,
because like
that one's been talked about getting rid of, the one at Valley Fair for years.
Yeah, I heard Excalibur at Valley Fair is staying for the future until they have a good replacement set up for it.
yeah, but yeah, because I mean I think Excalibur is awesome. Like I mean I like it a lot. But yeah, like that Excalibur at Six Flags St. Louis was like a torture device.
I
Yeah,
enjoyed it. It was intense. So
Something different, something that nobody else had.
yeah, it
So
won.
yeah, that's true. I don't know. It's just something about it was just kind of a little weird to me. But yeah, I mean, I guess I could tell too. It was probably something that's a little hard to maintain, especially like if no one had that. I could see how it would be hard to maintain to get parts for and stuff.
Oh, nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a great event to remove their their parachute
Yes,
ride,
Parachute Tower is also off website. So
and then Six Flags Over Texas rid of their Harley
yes,
Quinn Insanity. The
the Tobian by how you pronounce it.
Yeah, that
Harley
ride's
Quinn.
relatively new, isn't it? Like
Yeah, it is.
maybe
Hmm.
4. I know.
Yeah, okay. So they're getting rid of that.
They got the same thing at I think Great Adventure too.
Yes.
But honestly, I could just see it being like a rotation though. Like if it's just like a new small coaster, like I could see it just being sent to like a lower tier park or something.
Yeah, you never know if he's going to move it, but I mean, you still don't want to see because St. Louis
Yeah.
is lower tier parks.
Yeah. Well, okay. So so I think that one's just gone. They're gonna scrap that. Like I don't see them dealing with that anymore. But like with that over Texas, like
They could move that somewhere else.
Yeah, because I mean that's kind of what Six Flags does too. They like that ride rotation where they're like, well, we had it for a couple years. Let's try to scam people 100 miles away who don't know it.
Our new ride.
Yeah.
Although they haven't done that a lot recently, because they realized that that puts a lot of unneeded wear and tear on attraction that were not meant to be moved around every few years. So
Well, I mean, I rode Flashback when it was Z-Force at Great America, and it was perfectly smooth. And by the time they moved it all the way out to California, it was,
Yeah, that seems to happen. Like they just can't put it together the right way or something.
well, I mean, some of those rides weren't just be taken apart and moved.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, I don't like it when parks do that. I mean, it's just like who are you trying to fool here?
And then if you look at my home park at Great, looks like Skytrek Tower is never going to open, from what I've heard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So your home park is Great America, and when I was a kid years ago, my home park was Six Flags America. So it was like we got a lot of hand-me-downs from you guys.
Yeah, you got a lot of the old rides. Looks like our tower.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to take it down. I don't think they will because I'm sure it's insanely expensive to take down a 330-foot tower.
Yeah.
They don't have parts, and I guess they don't have really the staff to run it.
Right. I guess that's one difference between Six Flags and Cedar Fair. That Cedar Fair is a lot better about putting the money and effort into tearing down eyesores.
Right.
But Six Flags is like, well, we can't afford it. We'll just leave it there forever.
Well, it's an icon too for us. So I mean, I understand them kind of leaving that. And Buccaneer Battle should be on its way out too. Finally.
Yeah. I mean,
hasn't been open for 2 or 3 years, and now I heard a bit.
Oh.
Probably. I would assume they're going to put a flat ride there, maybe a Star Flyer or something.
Yeah.
Not a big plot of land.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends on the zoning and like the neighbors if they're gonna be okay with a tall ride. See, like that's why it's always hard to speculate with these parks because you don't know what's going on with the local approval and stuff.
I think Great America can go to like 170 feet before they have to get approval.
Ooh. Oh, okay, approval. Yeah, because like 170 is short.
Yeah, it's not super tall, but they have to go because when they built Goliath at like 180, they had to go get zoned.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they can get approval, yeah, there's not much you can do with like 170.
I don't think it's a problem in Gurnee because Gurnee knows that Six Flags brings in so much business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're not going to bite the hand that feeds them.
Well, you would think, but that doesn't seem to be what always happens.
Well, I mean, you look at what's happening with Disney, so.
Yeah, where like there's some hand biting going on.
Well, yeah, it's a power struggle.
Yeah, we're like, yeah, who knows? I mean, I thought I was reading that DeSantos and Iger were kind of like getting along now, but now I'm reading that Florida is trying to annex, the Reed Creek. I mean, I kind of agree in the sense that I don't think that there should be corporate-controlled territory like that, and that they should be subject to government regulations. But I don't like the idea Yeah, like I don't like the idea of us absorbing the 1 point, or like the billions of dollars in debt. Like I think the rule should be when we do this, you have to pay off this debt, and then we'll absorb it.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, but I mean, I sort of like about it is that it seems like it's just political retaliation. So I don't like that aspect of it.
Let's see. Any other Six Flags rides that are gone? I don't think so.
There might be from other parks that we haven't noticed yet, but basically, the thing is, if you notice a ride is gone from the website, there's a good chance that it's being removed.
Well, yeah, and you know what? Once the parks start getting ready to open, so come like April, I'm sure you'll see a lot more of what Mr. Cool's doing.
And speaking of removal, what about Kings Island and Camp Cedar splitting?
Yeah, so Kings Island is no longer part of Camp Cedar. We do not have any information yet, but once we find out, we'll let you guys know. But more importantly, though, Coastal Stock tickets went on sale and for like yesterday. I will be there. Everyone will be there. So it's gonna be a good time.
It'd be the Zach twins.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zach Squid. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh Lord.
But,
Yeah, I mean,
it was a lot of cool things to see.
You guys have fun at Coaster Stock. I'll be at Great America.
Yeah, we'll see the train for you.
so like some of you guys were saying that like it was a little out, like you couldn't really, it wasn't really in your plans, your budget, right? Was that kind of why you weren't going?
No, we ran into the website error.
Oh, okay. So you wanted to go, but yeah, I got
tried
you.
purchasing the tickets, I kept getting an error.
That sucks.
I mean,
So, which is no big deal because my wife and I always have this discussion. If we don't get the tickets, that's just a weekend we can go to a different park where it's not going to be as busy because all the enthusiasts are going to be.
Yeah, but like you can get so many rides in on ERT. Yeah, well,
it would be different if I lived in Florida, but since I'm only 2 hours away.
Yeah,
I could go once a week if I wanted to. I just choose not to.
Right, I mean, I think I would say that it's like 750 people, 1,000 people. Like, I don't think that's going to make a huge dent in like the total aggregate like crowdedness of the park.
No,
but yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. Like I like the event a lot. Like, I mean, I like those good food, good walkbacks, good ERT. And also ERT where you get access to like rides where like you can ride them in ways you can't ride them otherwise.
Yeah.
Yes, like the pumpkin coaster and
Flight of Fear lights on.
Yeah, Flight of Fear. I mean, I don't get involved with the pumpkin coaster, but
fun fact, you could do Flight of Fear lights on any day of the week.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, you have to be the last train of the night.
Oh, okay. So last train they'll do it. Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Last train of the night.
I'm pretty into myself, but I mean, this is the only way that I can get multiple rides with lights on.
Yeah. Oh, you also get lights. You also get fully lights off too.
Yeah, I do.
Yep.
But it also, like, yeah, and also these days it's not the easiest to get night rides all the time. Like outside of the haunt season and stuff, it's not the easiest to get night rides on like the Beast and Orion and stuff with like the fireworks and all that.
just with any of the parks. Parks are closing at 8, 9 o'clock now in the summer.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
dark.
in general, like they want year round, but they want short hours.
I mean, Keenan Allen had, hell, I've been good about, closing at, 10 p.m. During summertime. But Coastal Stock is the one time where you can get multiple night rides in. Like, you can get many night rides on Beast and a ride and Diamondback on the same night.
Because it goes usually about midnight.
Yeah, midnight, and you have sort of lines too. You have maybe 15-minute line tops.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Or like I thought it was like a walk. Yeah. Was it 15? I thought it was like a walk on. But
well,
yeah, I mean.
I'll depend on ride, but I mean, Diamondback would walk on last year. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, and also like during the summer, it's not going to get fully dark until maybe right at 10 or even after 10.
Yeah.
So like it's got to, because where they're situated, it just gets dark so late.
Yeah. This is in May, so I believe it gets dark maybe about 9 or 10 in May, so we get a few hours of night rides.
Okay.
After that too, but question is, which day does it will have to rain? Because it seems to rain every year. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's true.
like last year,
Oh yeah.
we were soaked.
Yeah, I remember last year. I was just like, I got so much production in on Friday, and I was just so, and like, I don't know, like I was just kind of like cold and tired and wet, and I'm like, I'm just gonna, I just left early, and I don't know, like I was kind of thinking about going back when the rain ended, but I was in my hotel room and just warm and happy, so I was like, oh, I'm just gonna, I had enough production this trip. Oh yeah, hopefully we get 2 dry days.
Yes.
It's
And
right.
next is what is new for 2023 at Kingdom? I mean, you already know about it. I'll talk about it now. But yeah, need to see
Huh?
if Kingdom Island is I'm excited for
Yeah,
it now, but that's
Adventure Port.
2 new flat rides,
They're getting teacups.
teacups,
Oh,
yes,
no.
and also a Zampella and
Well.
Nevis, so it'll be good.
Yeah,
Teacup.
too bad.
Oh,
Too bad. It's just not a new adventure. Whatever.
oh yeah.
I hate Adventure Express.
I
So you don't
it.
like-
I mean, great themes,
Oh, I love it.
It's a terrible
love that
mine
train.
train ride.
Oh no.
It's the worst.
So, do you not like mine train rides, or do you think it's bad for a mine train?
No, it's just a full-on bad mine train. I love mine trains.
Okay,
That's
so
just
you
the
like
worst
mine
I've
trains, but you
ridden.
don't like that one.
So-
Okay, I
Yeah.
gotcha.
Okay, I'll say this though. It has a good first 3/4 of the ride. Then it died at the end because you have a left or nothing. Like, come on.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
All this hybrid and break run.
I mean, I love mine trains. You can, my wife can tell you, Thunderation, all of them. But I just don't know what it is with Adventure Express at Kings Island, but it is.
Yeah,
It's-
I mean, it's a little janky. It's not the smoothest.
I don't feel like there's any thrill to it. I mean, a lot, like, for example, Silver Dollar City's mine train. You take
It's
it
possible.
and it goes up a hill, and then next thing you know, you're 30 feet off the ground and you haven't even gone down a drop.
Yeah, so it does help when they use the train. I think maybe the worst might be that like Cedar Creek mine ride at Cedar Point. That one just seems a little random and pointless. So it's like an open plot of land. Come on.
But yeah, I love mine trains. I just don't know what it is. I used to be a big fan of Adventure Express, but
I still
I
enjoy it. I
mean,
mean, it's Classic Air, and I mean,
most-
it's very well themed. So,
it is. But most of the animatronics don't work. The only animatronics that do work are the 5 or 6 guys when you go up the hill doing this, and then the roller coaster's
No,
over.
I like that though. I like those guys.
yeah. I mean,
Would've
they're
been better
all
at the
now.
start.
He's actually making, looking on the ride and improving it and making things look better. So that's good at least.
Adventure Port, love it. I love the flat rides.
Yes, teacups. Finally, we can now spin all ourselves dizzy.
I love the flat rides. I hope that they do a lot of work on Adventure Express.
Yeah. Well, so what are the animatronics that you're saying that aren't working?
The first tunnel, all the arrows
Okay.
that kind of are supposed to pop out at you,
I've seen
and
some that
everything
pop out
else.
this
They,
past year, so I think they're working on it. And
they've been working on it, but then plus when there used to be a lot more theming to it back in the day, since Cedar
adding
Fair
it
has
back
taken
into
over,
accessories.
they've removed a lot of said theming.
And now they're adding it back to theme because Cedar Fair has been always on to go back to theme, which is nice to see.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess that maybe it's been so long, I just don't remember what the old naming would have been like.
I would I would have to pull up because I can't name them off the top of my head, but it is pretty low on my list of mine trains out of however many I've ridden.
I gotcha. It's done a lot. I think the one that's, like one of the surprising ones is that one at Over Texas. That's some pretty good theming.
my favorite mine train right now is going to be Roadrunner Express over Fiesta, Texas. That's a good mine train.
Yeah, that's what one in Texas. Yeah.
Fiesta, no, not Uber Texas, but Fiesta, Texas, Fiesta.
Oh, Fiesta. Okay. Yeah, like that Coyote one.
Yeah, Roadrunner Express, yes.
Yeah, the
Designed by
terrain.
Alan Pilkey, which makes it 10 times better.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
I think my favorite is still Big Thunder. It's just like such amazing theming and just trick track and yeah, because I mean like Big Thunder Mountain, like they had the budget to like do all that stuff.
Oh yeah, where was that one at Hershey Park?
Yeah, the one at Hershey doesn't really have much theming at all.
Joe, wait, I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's a good roller coaster, though.
No, but I've done the Adventure Express, Carolina Gold Rusher,
Oh, that one sucked.
Cedar Creek Mine Ride, River King Mine Train, Thunderation, Thunder Express, Trailblazer.
Oh yeah, the one at Hershey.
Yeah, and that's it. I haven't been to Texas yet.
Yeah, I have to add them up. I mean, like I'd have to look through my list and like add them all up. Too many to count.
Yes.
I mean, I guess you can make an argument that like Steel Vengeance kind of uses like Mine Train theming. Kind of. Like, I mean, like the trains kind of look like it.
Steel Vengeance, world best mine train.
No, that was just me looking at Arrow Mine Train, specifically Arrow.
Yeah.
Mine.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, Oh yeah. So I guess that then Big Thunder wouldn't qualify. I guess that's Tacoma.
But I mean, Vekoma, Arrow, like Vekoma's older coasters are practically Arrow because they use the track style.
Yeah.
Doesn't Vekoma own the rights to almost all of Arrow's rides?
So
I think it's S&S.
So right now,
Okay.
S&S actually owns the
S&S.
rights to Arrow. And
Okay.
then back
Any
in
one
the
of them
day,
did.
Arrow let Vekoma use the track style.
Then they stole it.
Yeah. And now Vekoma moved away from it and does his own thing, which the new Vekoma look amazing, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool that like, well, so I'm trying to think in my head, like, for all of those Arrow, like, mine trains, like, do they have the planks that make it look like a railroad track?
No.
Okay,
Only
yeah, so
when they do that, I think they appear in you up to that stuff. But I mean, I
Yeah,
think the point about that extra little theming.
Yeah, because like that's pretty cool. Like on Big Thunder and like Seven Dwarfs, how like they put the planks in so it looks like a real railroad track.
Yeah, there's only a very select few that actually do that.
Yeah, you got to do that though, because otherwise, how are people gonna know it's a railroad track?
Let me try to do this, and I'm gonna definitely credit RCDB for this one. Like this is Thunderation's Helix at Silver Dollar City.
Oh yeah, that amazing Helix.
Okay, yeah, so they kind of.
So a lot of Arrow Mine
Yeah.
uses the tubular style track, and then they use the wood frame as like the railroad looking.
Was
Yeah.
And then the train style itself. Let me see if I can. Like that's one of the trains right there.
Oh yeah, back when
And you
they
can't-
had a backwood racing call it. I mean, I don't know about
Yes.
backwood. That'd be fun.
And there's the little train caboose up there in the front.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I will say that if you're talking about immersion and simulation, that mine trains are probably one of the closest you can get to something that's more authentic. Because, you know, there's not really many practical everyday uses for a roller coaster, like a typical one, but, you know, like you do have like those old mine, like you do have actual mine trains. So having a mine train coaster is a good way of being like, oh, you're getting on this mine train, no, something went wrong. Oh, so it's a good way to tie that storyline together, which I think is why Disney likes it so much. Because Disney likes being as authentic as possible.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause I mean-
but yeah, SNS did build a Vekoma though, but I mean, SNS did own the rights to Arrow, but before they got Vekoma involved.
So is Vekoma a subsidiary of SNS? Is that what you're saying?
The other now, I believe, but yeah, SNS now, by they partnered with Vekoma, but before they partnered with Vekoma, they had the rights to Arrow's designs.
Hmm.
Is Vekoma still in business?
Yeah. Well, I also know that like SNS took over the maintenance contracts for the Aero coasters, right?
Yes, I mean they do the real stuff right now, and then they brought back the Triple Case design. Hopefully, a Park buys one though, because it's quite fun for family coaster.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. I mean,
yeah,
I guess.
Vekoma is owned by SNS.
Oh, that's interesting. It's funny that so they still use different brand names, but they're all, on the same team.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
Vekoma is mainly handling Europe, and then the family coasters for the US. And then SNS is handling, because I think SNS is kind of not really running Vekoma to install the new coasters here because they already do a similar design.
Yeah, and I feel like SNS doesn't really have many coasters that have come out recently, right?
Yeah.
Like here and there, but not a whole lot.
Yeah. But I mean, if you how similar Silken is to like a modern Vekoma Lupus, so. I mean, only really difference we're getting here in the US is the family coasters, and now we're getting a truck coaster over at Coderland, but other than that, it's mainly been SNS doing the big rides for that company.
Yeah. Oh, did we lose Joe?
Yes.
Yeah, he got off a little while ago. A lot of the new SNS coasters are your 40 spins.
Yes.
Right, those. Yeah, those pieces of crap. Yeah.
I'm looking right now.
I mean, I actually don't hate them. I just don't like the idea of spammed out clones to go everywhere, but they're not the worst coasters.
Max Force. They built Max Force. Was I think
yeah, well, and also that Kenny was like Steel Curtain too.
Yeah. But those were your last, I think, built roller coasters in the United States. Inside the United States.
It's been that long.
That wasn't a 4D.
Yeah, but I guess it makes a little more sense now that they own Vekoma. That's kind of how they stayed it.
They did build a wing coaster, though, at Six Flags New Mexico, or Six Flags Mexico.
Oh yeah.
Called Wonder Woman and
that's the 40 free spin.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, it's not a free spin.
Oh yeah, that is another free spin. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe Cedar Fair got a free spin. That was pretty messed up. Because Cedar Fair is supposed to be like the anti-Six Flags. I'm not supposed to do that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, King's Dominion isn't a top tier park for Cedar Fair. I think the King's Island or Cedar Point, so
it's a great park though.
I get that they're not top tier, but they shouldn't be SNS free spin tier. They should be a little better than that.
Well, didn't they put the SNS free spin right where the old Haas swing was?
Yeah, and that was a great ride. Like I would have much rather had an awesome Haas top spin. Although one thing I will say about that is that I do like the retheme, and they made they made Avalanche really fun with the theming at the end.
Yes.
We got a chance to ride Avalanche before they closed it and then rethemed it.
Yeah, but with this I love the theming in the new one, like that. Yes. It's kind of like Mystic Timbers, where you get that last scene. I don't like the seating style though. I don't want to sit on someone's lap, or unless I'm dating someone, I don't want to sit in anybody's lap or have them sit on my lap. That's weird.
I mean, the one thing in time, if you know that, I'm like, obviously you knew that was Fandor, but found no something that you would.
Yeah, and then like there's always that one friend who's like, oh yeah, let's like most rational human beings would sit separately, but like some people are like, oh, let's like sit together. I'm like, I'm not doing that. It's weird. Yeah, so that's one of my objections to that. But I think that these days people realize that people need personal space, so they're not doing that kind of stuff anymore.
Oh, we added a whole thing about mine trains since we went on about mine trains for so long.
No.
I got a thing for mine trains. I can't help it.
Topic, and I mean, it's still a good sell. So.
Well, it started with them.
Yeah.
All right. So do we have another thing we want to try to check in on?
I think we covered everything today.
Yeah, we covered it all.
Okay. Sounds good. So, for everyone listening, hopefully the weather warms up around you and you can get back to some parks. But, for me, I got my 85-degree day at BGT.
Yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy our Aaron Gwazi.
Yeah, good. Park here pretty soon. Solar City opens in like 2 weeks on March 11th. I will be down there for that adequately. So.
And I think we're either going St. Paddy's Day weekend or the weekend after to Dollywood.
Okay, nice. Like your first park of the year?
Well, yeah, I don't know if it'll be the first park of the year, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
We may sneak. I don't know. It depends. Mount Olympus likes to open randomly, so depends on their weather. We may go up there. I want to try the Ferris wheel water slide.
Okay. Yeah, that looks fun. I need to go to Mount Olympus. I have a $5 ticket I bought back on Black Friday in 2020. Never expires.
Okay.
So
thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys in next week's live stream.
Okay. Thanks for watching, guys.